on soft green hills.
And rejoice for her beauty's sake.
The vanity of her glory, the pride of her land.
And rejoice for her light will shine.
The vanity for excellence, our dreams come true.
And rejoice for the
Ralph Waldo Emerson, a philosopher by no means insignificant, said, "Be not the slave of your own past. Plunge into the sublime seas. Dive deep and swim far. So you shall come back with new self-respect, with new power, and with an advanced experience that shall explain and overlook the old." Ibadan, the ancient city of Oyo State, was besieged with many august visitors on the 21st of August 2021 as the Lions and Lionesses of the Alumni Association of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, converged on the city to hold their 106th National Executive Council NEC meeting geared towards breaking new frontiers for their alma mater. The event, which was a gathering of top privileged class of people in almost all walks of life, entrepreneurial world, executive arm of government, professional bodies, royal fathers, big wigs in the academia, religious leaders, government functionaries, and alumni members, took place on the campus of Dominican University, Samonda, Ibadan. Speaking during his welcome address at the occasion, Sir Ben Okoronkwo, FNIVS, the national president of the association, described the theme of the event, University and Nigeria, a critical survey, as a very apt conversation to engage, considering the fact that Nigeria as a country has been grappling with the fledgling educational system, particularly as it relates to universities in the country.
With situations in our university. And I want to say that it's not only in the University of Nigeria. Almost all the first generation universities are having this type of situation. Situation where infrastructure meant for 20,000 students, staff in a community today are still accommodating.
Ralph Waldo Emerson, a philosopher by no means insignificant, said, "Be not the slave of your own past. Plunge into the sublime seas. Dive deep and swim far. So you shall come back with new self-respect, with new power, and with an advanced experience that shall explain and overlook the old." Ibadan, the ancient city of Oyo State, was besieged with many august visitors on the 21st of August 2021 as the Lions and Lionesses of the Alumni Association of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, converged on the city to hold their 106th National Executive Council NEC meeting geared towards breaking new frontiers for their alma mater. The event, which was a gathering of top privileged class of people in almost all walks of life, entrepreneurial world, executive arm of government, professional bodies, royal fathers, big wigs in the academia, religious leaders, government functionaries, and alumni members, took place on the campus of Dominican University, Samonda, Ibadan. Speaking during his welcome address at the occasion, Sir Ben Okoronkwo, FNIVS, the national president of the association, described the theme of the event, University and Nigeria, a critical survey, as a very apt conversation to engage,
if you see the
considering
kind of
the fact that Nigeria as a country has been grappling with the fledgling educational system, particularly as it relates to universities
the tempo
in the
is
country.
going down and down, and it is not okay for our century. So in those days, we had the university, where the university graduates will come out. The work will be waiting for him. They brought all the vehicles and all those things. And those people who are in the workforce, they employ him and they give him or her car immediately. So, but now, see a university graduate operating Okada and some other things. So it has gone to a state of insensitivity. And that is not good for us. To the topic.
He enunciated that the 106th National Executive Conference of the Alumni Association was geared towards addressing the menace. The Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, His Imperial Majesty Obadeyeye Enitan Babatunde Ogunwusi Ojaja II, Ooni of Ife, who was unavoidably absent but was ably represented by Oba Adewusi, the Ala Odaye of Ara Land Ife, sent his greetings to alumni members of the association and called on them to brace up for the task ahead towards recovering back the glory of their alma mater from the present ruin it is now drowned in as a result of many years of neglect. He charged them to come together as a formidable force to give back to their school in every way possible.
What are we going to do in this country? The Alumni Association is unfortunate that you are not up to your task. You are not doing your job. We see you now here. Most of you are directors. Even those in the position to help, they won't come here. They won't come. They will say, what are they doing? I don't have time. I'm going to New York. I don't have time. I'm going to Washington. I don't have time. I'm going to Paris. I don't have time. They will never have time. You people here are the one that you are using your time for this thing. And when they come, they will say, how much is the donation? I will give you some amount. They are not ready to help this country. We of us, we are fed up.
Obadeyeye Ojaja II, through his representative, said that the alumni has the power to introduce discipline in the school. The Governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, FNSE, who was obviously the chief host for the event, ably represented by his deputy, His Excellency Engineer Rauf Aderemi Olaniyan, FNSE, an alumnus of the University of Nigeria, also charged members of the alumni that it is now time for them to pass through the school, having allowed the school to pass through them by being old students of the school. He highlighted that the best way to do this is to pay back to the school. He also enjoined them to summon the courage to seek ways to vote the best leaders into power in the nation, as that will be the determinant of what will be the future of universities in the country. Her Excellency, the First Lady of Ondo State, Arabinrin Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, an alumnus of the University of Nigeria, when she took the rostrum during the event, called the attention of all the members of the association to a viral video on the despicable state of a hostel in the University of Nigeria. She disclosed that the ruin was as a result of the neglect by the federal government and the Alumni Association.
Suffice to say that the poor state of Nkrumah Hall today is a clear indication of the apparent neglect of UNA by the federal government of Nigeria and all of us. Yes, I am a proud member of UNAA, and I may go to say that our prestigious university has been abandoned by all of us. I say this because I believe that the reputation of any educational institution relies on its students, both past and present. Am I communicating? Yes. It will be a waste of time for me to begin to expatiate how government and university-generated funds have become grossly insufficient to maintain a good quality of education among institutions in Nigeria. It's no longer news, now old news now.
She then charged the body to rise to take up the challenge of putting the hostel back in shape as a major entry point to begin something towards restoring the dignity of the school. She said, "I am taking up the challenge and I want you to join me so we can all do it together." The guest lecturer for the event, Reverend Father Professor Anthony Akinwale OP, who is the Vice Chancellor of Dominican University, among many of his presentations during the lecture, debunked the claim by many people that private universities do not have standard. He affirmed that anywhere in the world, standard is a collective exercise which involves the statutory body.
In an attempt to catch up with the technologically advanced countries, we thought we could reduce education to technical education, whereas the humanities are the soul of education. And 42 years later, what is the state of technology in our country? We are not running on NEPA right now, we're running on our gen. 42 years later, we do not have technology, but we have some very intelligent young men and women who are adept at using computer technology to scam us. Because they got technical education without ethical content.
Charged the old students of the University of Nigeria to collaborate in order to strengthen other young and emerging universities in Nigeria as a way of helping to strengthen tertiary education in Nigeria, thereby preventing the general ruins the tertiary institutions in the country have plunged into. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Charles Arinze-Igwe, though not palpable in the event, was honorably represented by the Director of University Advancement Center, University of Nigeria, Professor Ike. He lent his voice on the issue of University and Nigeria, a critical survey. He reported that university education in Nigeria is yet to get to where it's supposed to be in providing a technical support for assuring the future of Nigerians. It is still a wobbling system that has no footing on the ground, with the status of a glorified secondary school.
It is a decaying infrastructure. It is a decaying edifice. We are living in our next shadows. Everything you have known about UNN, especially in terms of infrastructure, has gone down the drain. It is not about mismanagement, no. Take the analogy of an old man or an old woman. When you are young, you can fly higher and higher, isn't it? But as the days and the years go by, you need supplements to maintain you. Your university, the Lions Den, needs supplements to maintain it. And what do I mean by these supplements? Infrastructures that are decaying need to be rehabilitated and renovated. New ones need to come up.
He therefore called on government to rechannel her attitude towards investing in education. The former Auditor General for Local Government in Oyo State, who is also an alumnus of the University of Nigeria, a former president of the Alumni Association, Alhaji A.M. Adeyemi, having received an award from the association, disclosed that awards are given to spur one to do more, and as at today, a lot still needs to be done in order to properly reposition university education in Nigeria as a platform for the development of competent leaders who will take the nation to a greater height. He affirmed that things are not the way they were years ago when it comes to the state of our university system in the country, and this is why government and all stakeholders have to collaborate to work towards improving the system. Several awards were given to deserving members of the Alumni Association during the National Executive Council NEC meeting of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in order to spur members to look for ways to do more for their alma mater and salvage her from the present state of infrastructural decay and low investment in capacity development. The awardees and awards given to them are Her Excellency Arabinrin Chief Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, Distinguished UNAA First Lady Award. Alhaji Ademola Musibao Adeyemi, former Auditor General for Local Governments or your state, Distinguished UNAA Patron Award. Mr. Laidi Ayoku, DMD, United Bank for Africa, Lagos, Award for Excellent Performance in Human Relations and Business. Engineer Remi Oseni, MNSE, CENG, Regional Overseer, Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries, Award for Excellent Performance in Politics and Business. Mr. Paul Ilona, Country Director, Harvest Plus, IITA, Ibadan, Award for Excellent Performance in Agriculture and Business. Professor Patrick Okedinachi Utomi, Pan-Atlantic University, Lagos, Distinguished Promoter of University Excellence Award. Chief Michael Adeojo, Elizade University, Ilara Mokin, Ondo State, Distinguished Promoter of University Excellence Award. Mr. Lanre Gbajabiamila, Director General, National Lottery Regulation Commission, Distinguished Promoter of Lottery Excellence Award. Comrade Olaleye Quadri, National President, Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, Distinguished Labor Advocate Award. Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola, Vice Chancellor, Chrisland University, Award for Excellent Performance in the University System. His Excellency Engineer Rauf Adeyemi Olaniyan, Deputy Governor, Oyo State, Distinguished Eminent UNAA Patron Award. Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, Speaker, Oyo State House of Assembly, Distinguished Merit Award in Politics and Governance. Honorable Stanley Olajide, Member, Federal House of Representatives, Distinguished Merit Award in Politics, and Mogaji Ismail Bioku, President, Omar Jorosun Club, Ibadan, Distinguished Merit Award in Leadership and Culture. Professor Charles Binam Bikoi, Executive Secretary, Sedotola, Cameroon, Award for Excellent Performance in Documentation of African Languages and Heritage. Besides the presentation of awards to spur members to do more work in order to salvage the university from its present ruins, the National President of the Alumni Association, Sir Ben Okoronkwo, presented the image of the proposed iconic monument, which is to serve as the Alumni Multipurpose Complex to the members and executives of the Alumni Association. He commended the efforts of the immediate past Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Benjamin Ozumba, for approving a 5,200 square meters plot of land for the building. He also informed alumni members that the architectural design was prepared by architect Ino Nwagugu of the Port Harcourt branch of the Alumni and donated free of charge to the association. The engineering drawings comprising the structural, electrical, mechanical aspects and the bill of quantity have also been completed, he added. So, the stage is now set for the reinvention of the University of Nigeria, beginning with the construction of the iconic multi-purpose complex by the Alumni Association.
The theme of the 106 NEC was chosen after a critical analysis of what it had been over the years, Nigeria and the university, a critical survey. And over the years, we have noticed a lot of decay in infrastructure in the universities. We have noticed that academic programs have been disrupted by a lot of strike actions, by SANU, ASU, and the like. And we've also discovered that these things are more prevalent in the federal universities than the private universities. Of course, you saw the analysis given today by the guest speaker. This summit, of course, was planned to find solutions to this aspect of the decay and rot in our universities, using Nigeria as a case study. And in doing that, there were comparative analysis. Private universities, when you go to private universities, you have the faith-based private universities, and you have the sole proprietorship private universities, as against the federal universities. And we also discussed today that for the fees paid in the private universities to be sustained, we should also make sure that people are properly sensitized. We discovered that the inappropriate fees in the federal universities cannot sustain the university education. And that's why the private universities are thriving more. They charge higher fees, they don't go on strike, the facilities are maintained. But in the federal universities, fees are so low, hostels cannot be maintained. Even paying lecturers, apart from the bailout that the federal government comes in from time to time to do, we discover that unless appropriate fees are charged in the federal universities, we might be having this problem of somebody going to university to do a 4-year course, 5-6 years after, he's still there because of interruptions, because of disruptions in the academic calendar. And we have also identified here that if federal government allows federal universities to charge appropriate fees, a lot of people will not be in the university. Because most of the average families in this country cannot pay the fees of the private universities. So we should strike a balance in which if there are brilliant chaps, they can be granted scholarships in the federal universities. Also, in the private universities, I ascended the position of the national president. We have done quite a lot given the circumstances we met. We lost almost 1 full year because of COVID. That is one. But we've been able to bring the Alumni Association very close and the good synergy with the university. For some time now, it has not been that way. We have gone back to the university to take our pride of place. Then, for our students who are on campus, we have started organizing what we call mentoring and capacity building seminars. The first one was for 2 days. We held at Enugu campus and also at Nsukka campus. And it was a high impact seminar. And our students were so happy. So we're planning this August to also take another one. And again, our star project is this building of the iconic building, iconic multipurpose complex, which is the first time that it's been driven to this point since the 56 years of existence of the University of Nigeria Alumni Association. You saw the banner being displayed, and we are reaching out, sensitizing. We have also keyed into the infrastructure deficit campaign. We are taking that to all the branches, and people are being sensitized, because you can't begin to ask people to do something without sensitizing them first. So we are doing that. And by October, that capital campaign being driven by one of us, Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, will be 1 year. And alumni, we're already making contributions to that fund. And we're galvanizing and asking our people, donor agencies, friends, corporate organizations, to also key into that.
Great, I am happy that my Alma Mater has recognized me. It means that all along they've been paying attention, they are following my works. And such recognition, what does it do to an individual? it spurs you on to do more. You had me, I was touched by the viral video about the state of a hostel in the university, and I'm determined. I'm ginger to do something, and what it takes is to reach out to fellow alumni for us to fix that hostel. Once we fix that hostel, that's an entry point to greater things to happen, and that's why we now have a hashtag, or I came up with 2 hashtags, one in English, Fix UNN. The second one is Dossier UNN. You know, it's a university that is in Ibadan. So we to continue representing. I was a president of this branch for years, 8 years, and I'm happy that and during that time we hosted NEC, and I'm delighted that they are hosting NEC in 2021. It's a sign of progress. It's a sign that we keeping on. What else would our alumni members of an institution do? Is to make sure they keep on fostering unity among themselves, to keep the flag flying.
Happy, I feel fulfilled that my work has been recognized. You see, I was a former president of the association. So when people recognize your work, it makes you happy. It makes you want to do more. I feel like doing more for the association and for humanity at the executive members, the president, and others should ensure that the flag of the association keeps on flying. That's the only way to make Nigeria good. We have a lot of things to contribute to the society at large. We should do it. We should not mind putting on all our effort to ensure that things are getting right in every place we are.
Of course, the guest lecturer has aptly, captured the main subject, namely that university education in Nigeria has not gotten to where it should be. In fact, what we have as university education in Nigeria, honestly speaking, is a wobbling university system with no strong footings on the ground. Why do I say so? Go to many universities, both federal, state, private. They are more like glorified secondary schools because the deserved attention isn't there. Politicians don't see anything justifiably good in education. And I think they are so much concerned about their pocket, just like the guest speaker said. The money we lavish in ephemeras, parties, burials, marriages, and what have you, can fund education in this country. Today we are falling far less than the recommended annual percentage allocation for education. And so what we do these days is merely to acquire a certificate without inculcating skills, because nobody is really interested. There's this saying that atomic bomb cannot destroy the world as bad or quality education can. If you want to destroy a nation, don't educate them. And you will see the effect of that. Not even the atomic bomb, the technology. But once you deny citizenry the chance to be educated, then that nation is on the road to chaos. So what do I mean? The attitude of the government ought to change for positivity. government should have a positive attitude towards education by investing in education, pumping money in education, and not these things that do not help humanity. You know, all these security vehicles, a governor is going to an occasion and the whole state is collapsed because of a governor's trip. Whereas the same governor has a university in his state that he cannot fund. So we need to rechannel our attitude from that of negativity to positivity.
A representative of the Vice Chancellor, UNN, that facilities or infrastructure that were provided over 50 years ago, you still want it to be serving, multiple number of admissions that have been, catered for today. It's not possible. It's not possible. You see, what we need to do is for government, federal government in particular, because the totality of control and management of university, tertiary institutions are within the purview of the government, whether state or federal. So there should be a consolidated fund without any issue, without any struggle or hassle from ASU. Federal government must ensure that they are properly, funded as expected. We are past the level my vote will not count. We are past the level of that. People now, they are now having confidence, assurance, certainty with what NEC is doing. Of course, there will be pockets of issues. When those issues are arising, the commission will address them. So what we need to do is, we will continue to remind people that the registration is as important as the election. I come again. The registration of voter is as important as the election. And people must know that when we call them out to vote, when we call them out to register, they should take the registration the way they will take their voting on election day. And that is what we are saying, that everybody should follow what INEC is advising that we should do.
The vaccine that is sighted on soft green hills.